So letting go of the past is ideally big because it means stepping into the unknown future. It is a big step to let go of what is familiar to you or what you are used to, even if it is negative. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, of course, brings fear along the ride with you. So, like I said, when I was talking about letting go of your past on social media, I'm going to give you guys one of the major reasons why it's hard. So, one of the major reasons why we have a hard time letting go of our past is because the way we retain information, when we retain information, we usually remember it long term because an emotion has been connected with it. So if you felt angered or sad or heartbroken, those are the reasons why we will remember something. So if you ever got burned by a stove before, it created a fear in you, and now you know not to play with stoves or buy a stove again. Or you maybe either created a phobia. Or if you ever been deeply hurt by someone, you remember exactly what happened, even though it has been 10 or 20 years ago. The reason why you remember it so clearly is not because of what the person has necessarily done to you, but it's how the person made you feel by what he or she has done to you. And that's why you remember it so vividly, even if it happened so long ago, because that strong emotion has been connected to it. So when you figure out why you haven't shake this problem or the situation that happened so long ago, why are you still dealing with it? It's because whatever emotion you had experienced while going through it, the emotion was so big that you can't shake it from you mentally. It's still in your mind how it made you feel at that very moment when whatever it is happened to you. So due to the trauma, because that's exactly what it is now, it's trauma. It's so deeply connected to you that you can't shake it. It's now trauma. Due to the trauma, your brain has built up walls out of survival. Our mind processes events that happens to us in a way that protects us. So if we are having the emotions of fear, anger, or sadness, our mind wants to protect us from whatever it is that caused our bodies to feel this way. So when you have experienced something or a spider bite or anything like that, now your body, when you see a spider, you're scared, you're jumping, you're running away. Your mind is automatically, without even you putting it through, your mind is automatically processing this for you to protect you, to build up these walls, to create this fear. Now that you don't want to deal with it, if you've been heartbroken in a relationship and it has really like did a number on you, now you have created trust issues. Your mind has it created these trust issues so it can protect you from ever getting hurt that way again. And it's like I said before, it's not necessarily what has been done, but it's the emotion you have felt. Somebody can have done something to you that you was like about, like it wasn't a big deal, but somebody else, that could be a huge deal. Now it could be the same situation, but two completely different people reacted differently to it. You might continue to carry on in life, but now that person may be scarred forever. Everyone takes in things differently. So when you have connected the emotion to it, now it has scarred you. Now it has branded you. Now it's something that you can remember long term. So if you're asking yourself, this is the answer. If you're asking yourself, well, why haven't you shake this thing off? Why is it still in your mind? Why can't you not let it go? It's because the emotion is so deeply rooted that your brain is trying to protect you from whatever it is. So it's literally writing in your memory this event so you can never feel this way again, so it can never happen again. So next time you will see the signs to prevent it. This is your body, your brain trying to protect you. So it's holding on to this memory so it can protect you from it happening again instead of being able to let it go. But today we're going to talk about letting it go, letting it all go, and how can you move in the direction of letting these things go. So the first thing you need to do, the very first thing, And you're going to hear this in a lot of different things. If you've ever been in AA or whatever the case may be, the first thing is to talk about it, is to acknowledge it. You cannot deal with anything if you never acknowledge it. First, you have to acknowledge that something is a problem. You have to acknowledge that this is something that you can't shake, that you're having a hard time letting it go. Acknowledge what it is. A lot of times when things happen to us in the past, we don't want to talk about it. We want to protect our emotions. We don't want people to judge us. We don't want to let others know what happened to us because they may look at us differently. But the first thing to do is to truly talk about it and to acknowledge this did happen to me, or I was involved in this, or I allowed this to happen. However you want to process that vocally, you need to talk about it. That's the very first thing. And what can talking about it do? First of all, it can help release pent up feelings. When you don't talk about it, a lot of times when you can sit down and finally talk about something that you've been holding on for years, months, whatever the case may be, you get very emotional just talking about it, because these are all pent up feelings. And first of all, it will help you feel better. It will make you feel better because you're finally vocalizing that pain instead of having it pent up inside you. So you want to talk about it. Another thing that talking about it can help you do, it can help you gain clarity. So if it's all clouded in your brain and it's not sorted through, talk about it. It will help you actually see it more better vividly when you discuss it in your mind, and that will help you gain clarity for it. Also, talking about it will help you solve a problem by speaking the situation out loud, which would allow you to come up with ideas on how to make it better or to solve it. So anytime you have an issue, a problem, and then you begin to talk about it, work it out, you will begin to actually have ideas and solutions come to you. That's why it's not good to worry about things. Worrying won't get you anywhere. Let's talk about it, let's think about it, and let's solve it. Whatever the issue is, it's going to help you gain the clarity you need, the solutions you need, the ideas to move forward, to let it go. And it will ultimately help you move forward. Just speaking it out loud, making it real. Because sometimes we hide things so deep down that it becomes in our unconscious mind where it's almost like it never happened, but the feeling is there and it's like a void. You don't want to feel like that. You don't want to compress your memory or that thing that happened, the situation, to the point where you yourself almost can't remember it, but the feeling is still there. You can't go around the person that hurt you, or you can't be in the same room, or even talking to the person, because you want to compress how you feeling so deep down instead of talking about it. Having someone to talk to is extremely important. To let it all out. Don't have it be so stuck inside yourself that you are losing control of what has happened to you. Because you should have the power over yourself, and do not allow another person have dominion over your temple. You should be able to say how you feel, how you want to choose to act on something. So don't compress it to the point where you lose control of it. So the next thing you want to do is accept it. So accept it. Accept it. Yes, this has happened to me. This thing or this situation has happened, or I allowed this to happen, or I did this in the past. You want to accept it because it's the truth. A lot of times we like to accept a lie instead of the truth. And we want to be able to, the truth helps us bring things to light. So you can accept it. That's the next move to moving forward. You cannot move forward for something that you're telling yourself is a lie. You cannot solve through it, work through it, or anything. You have to accept what it is. Whatever it is, accept it first so you can make the proper changes to move forward. If you're not going to accept it, you're not going to do anything to create a solution for it, to move forward for it, because in your head, you still creating it as a lie, or it didn't happen, or you don't want it to happen. You have to accept whatever it is in the past that you need to let go, accept that it happened. Yes, you cannot change it, but accept that it has happened. And once you accept it, give yourself permission to forgive. Forgive whoever was involved, and not only just forgive what happened or who has done it, forgive yourself too. A lot of times, and this is not all the times, because I understand there's childhood trauma and everything, but a lot of times we allow ourselves to go through something. You give your power to someone else to take control of your life or to make decisions over your life that allow certain things to happen. Now, this is not to blame you, but I'm saying that you always had the power. No one else. If you gave your power to someone else over you, that was a decision and a choice that at the end of the day you made. So at the end of the day, not only that you have to forgive this person and that person in a situation, but you have to forgive yourself. Sometimes we are too hard on ourselves and we beat ourselves up because inevitably we knew better. We know better. Either we see in the signs, so whatever the case may be, we knew better. And we either did not love ourselves enough or love whoever more or whatever the case may be to allow X, Y, and Z to take place. So forgive ourselves for not putting ourselves first. So at the end of the day, give yourself that permission. Forgive other people. And I know it's easier to say than to do because everything is a process and you take the time that's needed. But once you fall into acceptance, you can then forgive because you no longer want to give no one else the power over you. And when you don't forgive, that's what you do. Because you can't now you can't go around this person, or now you can't do something or go to a restaurant anymore, your favorite restaurant, because this is where the situation happened. Now you have to rearrange your life, your whole life, for someone else or for the situation that happened. You don't have to let a situation, a person, or anything in this world give power over you. You have power over yourself. If that's one thing you have control over, is you. You cannot control other people or anything else, but you do have control over you. That is your power, is to be able to say what you want to say, do what you want to do, and not allow someone else to have that dominion over you. So forgive them, because when you don't forgive them and when you don't forgive yourself, you will eat yourself up and you will allow other people to do the same thing. So give yourself permission to forgive. And working in the proper direction that we're going to move forward, one of the things that you have to do is, as I was talking about, is focus on what you can control. You can't control the past. It's over with. It already happened. You cannot go back in time. You cannot control it. So you put emphasis on it. You cannot control it. Don't give your past power. It's no longer here. So focus on what you control. Like I said, the only thing you can't control is yourself. So focus on yourself. And you cannot focus on other people. You cannot control other people. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a spouse, a child, a relative, family member, friend, a stranger. There's no one you can ultimately control but yourself. You can control yourself. You can control your current situation. You can control how you react to things. So that's what you need to put focus on. Anything that you cannot control, don't give it power. Don't give it the attention. Nothing. Only put focus on what you can control. So remember that, you guys. So when you try to fix another person, or you want another person to apologize, or you want another person to do X, Y, Z because you feel like they need to because of what they have done, you're giving them power. You're giving them time out of your day where you can be focused on your self-movement and your future with purpose. So do not give other people and other situations power over you by you trying to control them. Because if you control them, who's controlling you? What are you doing with your life if you're so focused on the next somebody? So, you guys, focus on what you can control. And as well, surround yourself with newness. Anything from your past, if you letting it go, let it go. Letting it go means let it like dead. It's dead to you. Let it go. You're no longer harboring it inside you. You're no longer, having one foot in and one foot out. Let it go completely. Surround yourself with newness, whether it's a new environment, new people, doing something completely new. Give yourself a breath of fresh air. Surround yourself with newness. Get from the old. If that's what's holding you back, if that's the past, remove yourself from it. You're going to continue doing the same thing if you continue to stay in the same environment. If everything is continually the same thing is going to happen. So you want to let go of your past and be a better you and do better. Get into a position where you're no longer in the same environment that you once was. And I'm not just talking about physical location. And the same people doing the same thing every day. And you literally, that's insanity. If you continue to do the same thing, think the same way, and honestly think that something different is going to come from it. Do something different. Be in a different place. Surround yourself with newness. To let go of your past. Remove it from you. It's dead to you. The next thing is to redefine yourself. As you heard before, out with the old and in with the new. Redefine yourself. Your past do not have to be who you are today. Just because people knew you to be X, Y, and Z back in the day, that don't mean you have to be the same person today. You don't have to be that. You can be whoever you want to be. So redefine yourself. And you can do this by constantly creating a better version of you. So when I'm saying redefine yourself, I'm not saying completely change, be someone you're not, but become a better you. Do things different. If you don't eat healthy, start by eating healthy. If you don't exercise, start exercising, If you don't read, start reading. Become a better version of you. Do something that you've always wanted to do that's going to put you in a brighter light. Do something better. Redefine yourself. Don't let your past define you anymore because it's gone. It's no longer there. You have to think this way. Don't say, well, they might think of me different. They going to judge me because they only know me from doing this. And you used to only be the party girl or a bed hopper. You don't have to be that anymore. You can be who you want to be and who God said you to be. You don't have to be anything that you don't want to be. I don't care what you used to do. That doesn't matter. Leave that thought, who you were in the past, with those people that think of you as that only see you as that. Leave all of them and who you used to be in the past. You can be whoever you want to be. I don't care who only knew you to be X, Y, and Z. Leave them in the past too. You don't have to bring them along with you, nor do you have to convince them that you're a new person. You don't have to put your time and energy on that. You only have to do it for yourself. When you understand you're doing this for you and nobody else, you're going to then begin to move in the brighter light and make the proper changes for yourself. So redefine yourself. Also define your purpose. You have to have a vision to move forward. When you're moving forward, you can't move forward blindly. You can't just wander around life because it'd be so easy to get caught back and sucked back in to the old habits and the old things you used to do because you don't know what you're doing or you don't know where you're going. So when you have defined that purpose, define that vision, that dream, that goal, you have something to move forward to. Then you can begin to walk in it, leaving everything or anyone behind that does not align with your purpose. When you redefine your purpose, those things that you used to do or those people that you used to be around, they won't even be around anymore because you're doing something different. They won't even be able to hang with what you're doing now or be able to like what you're doing, because if you want to leave your past behind, then wherever your future is can't be where they are or where the situation is or where your old habits is. You have to move forward. So define your purpose, that vision, and a way to move forward to get you from doing what you used to do or those old habits. You want to move forward. So, like I said, define your purpose. When you define your purpose, it will help you move forward so you won't be moving around blindly or just doing whatever you think you should do. You will move with purpose. You will wake up and act with purpose. You will live with purpose. It won't just be, oh, what I'm doing today, and you don't have time. You have so much time on your hands that all the thing you can do is look on social media and see what everybody's doing and pulling you back into, that world that you no longer want to be in. You want to be active. When you wake up, you want to move with purpose. You want to be active, moving forward, constantly moving forward, constantly making a better version of yourself. Not trying to figure out what the other people used to hang out with, what they doing because you're bored. You want to move with purpose. So just going back over, like I said, the reason why it's hard to let go is because that emotion. So we have to change those emotions. We have to redefine the situation, and the only way you can do that is by talking about it. Learning how to get the good from the bad, because that's what you remember. You remember the bad. You remember how it made you feel. So what lesson have you learned from it? Whether you can relinquish what happened. You can no longer focus on what happened, but now you focus on the lesson from it, and you can grow from it. That's how you detach the emotion. You change it. You shift the narrative of what happened. Yes, you accept it, but talking through it, you will learn what God meant for you to get out of the situation, because at the end of the day, you survived it. So whatever God wanted you to get from that, that's what you need to focus on, getting the lesson out of it so that you can move forward. So redefining that emotion. So now you can be proud, because now you're no longer a victim, you're a survivor. So change that narrative. That's how you let go. That's how you begin to change your thought process to move forward. I'm not a victim. So stop crying. Oh, this happened to me. She did this, and I did this, and it led me down this path. You're no longer a victim because you survived it. And not everybody can say they survived what you survived. You're a survivor. Change the narrative. You're not a victim. You're not a whimper. You're not someone who's playing victim or crying and sad all the time. You survive whatever it is happened to you. Don't let other people place that label on you. You're not a victim. You're a survivor. So own it. Take it back. Going over the steps. So we detach the emotion. We change the narrative. So like I said, first thing, talking about it. Acknowledging it. Another thing, like I said, give yourself permission to forgive. And then acceptance. Another thing was focusing on what you can control. And you guys can be writing this stuff down. Surrounding yourself with newness. Redefining yourself by making yourself a better version of you every single day. You should not be the same in 12 months, in 6 months, in 4 months. You should constantly be trying to define the better version of you every day. Define your purpose. Moving with purpose. You guys, doing what it takes to move forward and not to stay in the same situation. Once you completed all of these things, if you need help understanding your purpose, what your purpose is, or help walking in it and achieving it to reach your goals, you should reach out to a life coach to help you find out your purpose, or to help create action steps for you. An action plan that's going to get you to where you want to go, that's going to move your life forward in a forward direction, where we're no longer focusing on your past. We're focusing on you right now and where you want to go. So you need help with figuring out what is your purpose, to move forward, to let go of that past, and to figure out, or if you know your purpose, to figure out action steps, an action plan. Okay, now where do I go now? I know what I want to do. I know my purpose. I know what I want from life. Where do I go now? What are my next steps? Don't feel afraid to reach out to a life coach. You can reach out to me, or if you have another life coach, you reach out to your life coach and ask and set up a session and call them and figure out what's next. What is my next best move? Now I'm going to open the floor up, and I'm going to unmute everyone to see if you guys have any questions. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are there any questions you would like to ask? Or anything you would like to discuss concerning letting go of the past? So if there's not any questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, I'm going to give you these few once again, and I'm going to go back in lecture mode just so that it's clear and everyone can hear me, and I'm going to repeat them again in case anyone needs to write them down. Okay, so going back over again, remember, first step, talking about it, acknowledging it, what it is, then acceptance, and then giving yourself permission to forgive, not just the people or whoever the situation, but also forgiving yourself. And then focusing on what you can control. Next, surround yourself with newness. Next is redefine yourself. And next is define your purpose. Those are the steps to take. Remember, the reason why it's hard to let go is because of the emotion that is attached to it. Redefine it. You're no longer a victim. You are a survivor. Thank you all again. Feel free to contact me. My email is betterbalancedlifecoaching@gmail.com. So BETTERBALANCEDLIFECOACHING@gmail.com. Or you can contact me on my social medias. My Facebook is Better Balanced Life Coaching. My Instagram is life_coach_Carter. And feel free to contact me. Feel free to go on my website and check out the things I have. I have a lot of resources on there for you guys to look, blog and podcast episodes. So for you guys to have materials to look over as well. So like I said, feel free to contact me. And if you guys want to subscribe to my email listing, go on my social media platforms and just hit subscribe. You can go into the bio of my Instagram and you can subscribe that way as well to join my email listing, or you can just hit me up with your email and I will add you all to my email list. Once again, thank you all for joining this success call today, and I'll see you next Sunday.